featuring this FJ, or what it looks like a FJ. What is this actually?
So it's an FJ. So it's an FJ. It's definitely all Toyota. That's the most important thing. So it's an FJ28 is what we're calling it. The early 20 Series Land Cruiser didn't have that iconic white bezel, right? It had the 3 chrome bars and the chrome headlight rings. So it's 20 Series front clip. Also the Thunderbird. They call this a Thunderbird, but the Toyota hood ornament. So we're calling it an FJ28 because a 28 was a pickup, the earliest 4-wheel drive pickup that Toyota ever built. It's Taco Tuesday because it's combined the FJ28 and a last generation Toyota Tacoma drivetrain. So we built the chassis, custom pretty much everything, custom body, custom bed, but also that we could fit a 2018 Tacoma drivetrain and electronics package inside.
So it's not a Tacoma frame.
It's not. We built the frame.
It's a custom frame.
Custom frame.
To fit the Tacoma. It's
Yeah,
a 3.5 liter
Yep,
V6?
3.5, the Magnuson Supercharged. Want me to open the hood?
Oh, yes, I would love to see that.
So the Tacoma frame is really just too wide for this body, right? And also we didn't want it IFS, we wanted to do a solid front axle. There isn't a Land Cruiser frame that's long enough or strong enough to support this, so we decided to just go ahead and build the chassis.
Can I just say how finished and how clean this build is? Right off the bat, I can't believe the build quality. It's so good.
I really appreciate that. That's what we were going for, and we try to make our stuff look OEM, more than show car.
That's what I'm kind of getting from the wire management, just like the stock airbox.
Yeah.
You retain the stock airbox.
Yeah, about half of it.
That is so cool. And then this too, even going out of your way to just cover up some of the accessories.
This is really to pay homage to this Magnuson Supercharger. We used some of the same style lines on this engine cover. The radiators aren't that pretty, and intercoolers aren't that pretty, and AC condensers aren't that pretty, so this just kind of blends the engine compartment together.
Body itself, like how did you find it? Where was it?
Sure, so there's a company in Canada called Aqualoo that makes aluminum bodies, and they built sort of the lower half of this. I actually bought this body 11 years ago with intentions of building something cool with it one day. And so that's the bottom half, just from here back. And then they don't supply any way to do a hard top or doors, so from right here up, we've built the top of the B pillar, and the entire top structure, and then this is a set of early FJ40 doors, and this is a set of early FJ40 doors narrowed 8 inches.
This body itself never existed in real life.
Correct. Toyota never built a 4-door 40 series or 20 series. So there are some from Brazil that are called Bandeirantes that weren't made by Toyota, but this doesn't have any Bandeirante DNA. But Toyota never built a 4-door.
Is this all Toyota metal?
It is, yeah. This is the cab back from an FJ45 pickup, which they did sell domestically in the 60s.
And then, so how did you get the roof then?
We made it, but what it is an FJ40 top that's been shortened.
Ah.
And then all of the sheet metal structure for the tops of the back doors, the headers and the B pillar, that's all the sheet metal that we made.
And then, so what about the front body area?
Yeah, front clip is actually from an FJ25, which was a 1959 Land Cruiser sold domestically in the United States. So that's where we get this early bib, structure, and that's all Toyota sheet metal.
Amazing. And what about the bumper?
Custom bumper we built in-house just for this truck. Holds the nachos and the 8274 and Solus lights. Underneath there's the radar for the radar cruise control. What we're trying to do is get the functionality of the Tacoma to all work on this. So we've got blind spot.
That's the radar cruise control?
Yeah.
So then you kind of had to put it at stock height a little bit, right?
Yeah, and it's actually lower than stock height. We actually might have to relocate it to get it to function perfectly. And that's kind of like the ongoing story of this build, is to calibrate everything. But we wanted blind spot monitoring to work, park assist, radar cruise, A-track, all of that. And then so the idea is fully functional, but in this old package.
Where's the blind spot monitoring?
Oh, in the back. I'll show you.
Okay, before we go to the back, let's talk about the front axle setup here.
Sure.
What is this from?
Yeah, so it's actually pretty complicated. In order to get the Toyota speed sensors, which are obviously crucial for things like radar cruise, we started with a Land Cruiser rear axle, and then flipped it around so that the differential's on the left side instead of the right. Added, and the axle was from an FJ60 rear. Then we added 80 series outer knuckles so that we had a big enough cavity for the Toyota CV. Pressed the inner CV, or the CV shaft out of the CV, and basically turned it into what Toyota calls a Burfield, which is their outer axle. And then added Toyota unit bearings on the outsides of the 80 series knuckles so that we had that speed sensor present so that the computer would recognize it.
It's so amazing. It would be so easy just to do all this without making all the Toyota stuff work.
Yeah.
But like you went above and beyond to get it to act like a 2018 Toyota Tacoma.
That's the idea, right? No shortcuts, and to keep the Toyota. That's why not very many people do this kind of thing with all Toyota DNA, because there's a lot more hoops to jump through, but it's worth it.
So then,
for purists.
what about the steering here?
So the steering is the only thing on the vehicle that's not actually Toyota or aftermarket. It's what's called Saginaw power steering. It's really the only steering option that we had for this because there's no room for a Toyota steering box on the frame.
Is that a hydraulic system then?
No, nothing. No, we didn't do any assist on this. It's just standard power steering.
Got it.
I mean, it is hydraulic.
Right.
There's no hydraulic assist.
Standard. Suspension-wise.
So the front's a custom parallel 4-link that we designed and built in-house. Bilstein 8125 coilovers and 9100 series double bypass shocks.
It has quite a bit of travel for what it is.
Yeah, with an FJ40, one of the challenges with wheel travel, tire travel is this fender right here. So if you get rid of that and make it flat or trim it, you lose that look, right? So it's set up for more down travel than up travel, but should work pretty good off road, and we'll get it there.
Love the wheel setup.
These are one-off customs from Nomad. So they're introducing this classic wheel called the 504 Field here at SEMA. And it's a wheel that's, they have them for Toyotas, and they got hubcaps that also look like Broncos and like K5 Blazer style hubcaps. But this one pays homage to the factory Toyota wheel, really cool. And then they built, this is a true bead lock, and they built them for us for SEMA.
I love this so much. I think that looks great. And then, so it is still 4-wheel drive.
Yep.
And is it all of this, there's like an underbody here.
Yeah, we had lots of room for a big skid plate, so real estate for another Taco Tuesday sticker. But above the skid plate, we've got the Toyota manual gearbox, 6-speed manual, and then an extra transfer case built in from Northwest Off-Road, so we've got double 4-wheel drive low.
Nice. Okay, so then it is out of the 2018 4-wheel drive
Correct.
system.
Yep.
And the transfer case is built into the transmission.
Yeah, there's an extra planetary set between the transfer case and the original transmission.
Nice. So when you're crawling in this thing, it's like
Super low.
super slow.
Yeah. I actually have never calculated what I'm assuming it's around 130 to 1, something like that. Yeah.
You could just put it in first gear, put it against a rock, and it would just sit there for a while everything
catches
kind of
up.
Lashes up or whatever. Rear leaf spring setup.
Yeah, it's a truck, right? So I think trucks should have leaf springs, so we went ahead and kept rear leafs in the back. Another set of Bilstein double bypass. And this is a narrowed Tacoma. This is the original axle, narrowed 5 inches.
Oh.
The Tacoma is really a lot wider than you think. You start trying to put all those parts in something this narrow, and you realize quickly that you've got to narrow a bunch of stuff. The rear axle was easier than the interior. The dash is actually quite a bit of work to get that in there.
And is it a stock Tacoma gas tank?
It sure is. And all of the emissions equipment from the Tacoma is present.
And then what about the bed?
So the bed is from Aqualoo. It's a 5-foot sort of reproduction of an early FJ45 bed. Tailgate is the actual FJ25 tailgate, though, from Toyota. I got it set up for overlanding right now. Full-size spare, which we had to kind of duck down in there a little bit to clear the tent. ARB fridge freezer, and then this is where the house battery is back here in tool storage. Even has the original Tacoma inverter.
Oh, that is really neat.
You asked about blind spot monitoring. So the rear bumper, we've set up for the blind spot monitoring. They're actually behind this little 3D printed plate that has this is an Easter egg that Tacoma has behind the instrument cluster. Mm-hmm. There's that just in the plastic back there for fun. So behind that cap are blind spot monitors, and then the parking sensors are in the little circular bezels.
I'm assuming you guys built this custom bumper?
Yep, kind of to match the front one. our company colors are green and orange. Everybody says, why the orange? That's our company color, so orange had to be an accent color.
Roof tent going on here.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this. I've never kept a build. We've built in Land Cruisers for 24 years, and I don't own one of our own projects. So when we were building this, I was just trying to check the boxes that my family would want to use, right? And that's like on-road comfort, off-road comfort, plus I want to take my kids camping, go wheeling in Moab.
Yeah. I'm sure this is plenty capable. Whoa. So the interior, a lot of it is 2018 Tacoma, huh?
Yeah, tried to get as much of that in there as we could. The dash is narrowed 8 inches. Lots of 3D printing to get it to fit, and it barely fits, but it does. Even managed to keep a functional glove box.
Love the 3D printed. Is that 3D printed?
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday?
Yeah.
Infotainment, everything, all the AC controls, everything, all that works.
Yep, all the HVAC works, and lots of ducting to get it into the right places back there, because obviously all the large plastic ducting wouldn't fit, but we got it.
Whoa, this is so cool. Okay, so this, obviously manual transmission, the shifter, this is the electronic.
Correct.
To go to 4 low, 4 high, 2-wheel drive.
Yep.
And then this is the extra transfer case.
Yep, secondary transfer case. So you can engage it or that or both.
That is too neat. So then this is not pissed off at all? Like there's no warning lights or anything?
Well, so right now the forward-facing camera's got a sticker in front of it that doesn't like that.
Oh, okay.
Right? But, other than the airbags, all the systems are functional.
Right. I love that you retain the roof accessories, right? Does the locker work too?
Yeah, the rear electric locker works. And then we've got our Switch Pro behind there.
So then, did you have to get a stock Tacoma and take it apart for this?
Yeah, we started with a nearly new 2018 Tacoma. And all that's left of it is sheet metal in the frame.
I really, really like the way you did this centerpiece here. It allows you even to have a dome light.
Yeah, we got the factory dome lights in it. Yeah.
It's cool because, it's like dual purpose, right? It's part of the cage, but also you're able to even have like the stock visors and everything.
Yeah. And
you got a little handle built in. This
serves for a great piece of conduit too, because there's so many wires up in this. Every tube is full of wires to get to the nacho lights in the front and all the Toyota wiring and the antennas that are up there.
Amazing. The floor all matches. Is this stock seat?
It is. The front seats are from the 2018 Tacoma. The rears are from a 06 dual cab Tacoma.
All new seals. The doors are so cool.
Yeah, aren't they? They're like little pieces of art. They put a lot of styling into them, and that's the metalwork in the roll cage is designed to kind of tie that together.
And this one's the one that you
8 inches narrower than stock. Yeah.
Amazing. Stock, like window cranks, all this work. So did you have to do custom glass then for that?
It's all, yeah. All the glass in the vehicle is new and custom glass in the rear.
Really, really cool truck. I'm excited because you're going to use this.
Yeah.
I think that is so cool.
Me too. The question is, when do we start? Right? I think it's going to be May or maybe like Easter Jeep Safari, somewhere in there.
Well, it makes sense for me what you're saying. You've built so many incredible vehicles for so many customers, and it's easy to forget about your own needs or wants.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I'm assuming you probably get to enjoy some of the vehicles that you build before you send them off, for testing or whatever.
Yep.
And you get to see them in the wild sometimes.
Yep.
But for you to have something that's your own now, the tricky thing would be to not sell it because there's going to be so much media out there of everybody just seeing how awesome this vehicle is.
Yeah, I've been swearing it off. It's not for sale. Yeah, the guys will say, you're going to sell it. No, I'm not. The vehicle means a lot to me, and it's not easy to reproduce, and a lot of the things that we build are just missing one thing that that we need. So this has it all. It's going to stay in the family.
Cool. Love it. Thank you so much for showing us this.
Yeah,
Love
my
it.
pleasure, Larry. Great to hang out with you.